What exactly is neuroscience and why should we understand? Why is it important to understand it altogether?
Okay. The neuroscience where you talk about neurons
Hmm.
and you talk about science.
Just tell me one type of breathing practice and how many times we should do that before we, go out and engage ourselves in such type of
Okay.
things.
So I would say keep yourself very simple. Just close your eyes. First, analyze yourself where you are. Try to remember your surroundings, what kind of sounds you are listening to, and then focus on your breath. Is it fast? Is it slow? So just tell to my brain, and then now focus on my breath.
Hi, welcome to the third episode of the Wellness Podcast by Iyka-Aram. And in today's wellness series, we will be talking about a very interesting topic that is the intersection of neuroscience, human behavior, yoga, and integrative wellness. So, our guest for today's wellness podcast is a very special guest. He's currently pursuing his PhD in IIT Delhi. He's a senior research fellow from CCRIN, Ministry of AYUSH, Government of India, and his name is Dr. Bhavit. So, Dr. Bhavit, a little bit about you.
So thank you so much, Dr. Amy. It's my pleasure, and it's one of the good thing that we are here today for discussing something about which I like to do. It's yoga, neuroscience, and intersection about integrative medicine. And I'm very surprised, or what you say, ke I've heard about you before we are meeting, and we are meeting for the first time today
Yeah.
about Aikara, and I was very fascinated that you being the first one from the Northeast region who has taken this naturopathy and yoga for the very systematic approach in the form of a clinical way through to reaching more out of people. It's glad we are meeting today, and myself, you have introduced. Okay, and mostly my work is towards in neuroscience research and how I can build the mechanistic approach of yoga and naturopathy practices through neuroscience approach.
Okay. So let's quickly get started. I'm very excited actually for today's podcast. Neuroscience is something that I've always heard about, but I never really got a chance to, interact with somebody who's actually doing a lot of research, R&D, and uh, growing a lot in the field altogether. So let's quickly get started. Okay. So the first question is, for our audience, pan India. What exactly is neuroscience and why should we understand? Why is it important to understand it altogether?
Okay, it's a very broad term, neuroscience. I would say the first thing would be the neuroscience where you talk about neurons and you talk about science. So we are discussing about two things, the neuroscience. Okay, so in this, the major focus would be that even today when we are talking to each other and many people are going to listen, so there are connectivity, building a wiring of one neuron to another neuron. Okay, sending a signal from one place to other place in the brain. It's happening in milliseconds and transferring the knowledge signals. You talk about mood, you talk about sleep, you talk about cognition, you talk about memory, fear. What else is required? So you say there is a difference of physical health, mental health. I would say if you take care of your brain, it will take care of all other kinds of health.
Okay.
So the focus of each and every part of our body, I would say, being from the neuroscience perspective, I would say we should focus on the brain first because that would recover all the other parts of your body.
Okay, wow. That actually makes so much sense. Okay. So in that, in the whole perspective of neuroscience, what is the most unique thing that you've discovered? I know that we'll be talking about it in the later, questions as well, but just a short snippet, I would say, in like 2-3 lines.
Okay. Today we are here in the technological era.
Yeah.
We are driven by AI. I love doing work on AI. We are here working with so many things in the current generation, current era. Digital world is there. When we see a screen, okay, how it is changing my neuronal networks in the brain.
Yeah.
Okay. When I'm talking to you and somebody's listening to my podcast and your podcast, whether they are aware about that scenario or be listening to the podcast, I'm thinking about something else also.
Okay.
So if I'm focused towards this podcast, that means my default mod network, DMN, is deactivated.
Okay.
If I say no, 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 DMN is activated, it means I'm in the situation where mind wandering is there, where I'm thinking about something else, not about the podcast. So it means there are certain areas in our brain which has been identified in the recent years, which is the DMN, where your frontal part of your brain f- uh, try to fix 3 to 4 parts of your frontal areas of your brain, creates the DMN, and that DMN is very responsible. So today we are talking, somebody's listening to me, but he has the same time what is happening in my office, what is happening in my home. So that means DMN is activated. So I would say, if I'm talking to you, my DMN should be deactivated, and that should be the like of beginning of this podcast for all of us.
Okay, lovely. I think given the fact that this whole podcast, this wellness podcast of ours is mainly focused in on yoga and naturopathy, I think we're moving in the right path,
I do it.
right? Cool. So let's go on to the next question. How is brain health connected to overall physical, emotional, and social well-being?
Okay. So brain health, we talk about stress.
Yeah.
What do you think about stress? I would say it is required in a short span of time. It's a very good for our body. So we react, we try to adopt ourselves according to that situation. But what happens if that situation of stress persists for the longer duration? It turns into the chronic stress. Okay. You have emotions.
Yeah.
Okay. You have fear. So you have a memory. So memory is correlated with the brain area called hippocampus.
Okay.
Then you have a amygdala, which is correlated with your fear. So these are the brain centers which talks about your brain, your connectivity with emotions, your connectivity with physical health, your gut health, social health. Now, my major concerns comes in social health is loneliness.
Yeah.
In the current era, we talk about that there are so many things available in my phone, but still I feel alone in my when I'm sitting in my home because I'm not able to connect socially so well. That is why it is affecting my complete emotional health, mental health, and physical health. Now, when we speak about the term called yoga, naturopathy, what do you mean by yoga? Because it creates a balance or synchrony, which we say samatvam yoga uchyate.
Yeah.
Equilibrium we talk about, synchrony we talk about of what? Your body, your brain, and your mind. So we are talking about and when we talk about naturopathy, I would say that it brings the perspective of your lifestyle, your diet, your nutrition. So now I'm talking three systems, and these three systems are very correlated. And if we work together in a synchrony with all these systems, I would say your brain health is really good. And if your brain health is good, then I would say your physical health, your emotional health, and what not we term as social health and all would be really good if we manage ourselves, balance ourselves with yoga and naturopathy practices.
Okay. All right. So in that, I really like how you really focused on the term loneliness, which I do feel is a very big, silent issue that is rising right now. So a lot of the people, or my patients for that matter, they have a lot of social exhaustion that I've seen. And because of the social exhaustion, they go to a wedding or they go for a birthday party just for 2 hours or an hour for that matter. The moment they go back or the moment they're there for post 2 hours, they come back and they're drained. They cannot get up in the morning. They cannot eat their food. They cannot, you know, do their work the next day. So, do you think this is somehow of an epidemic that is happening all over the world right now?
Yeah, so I would not say epidemic because we do not have the data.
Okay.
And if I use the word epidemic, people would say, no, no, it's not research based. But
Yeah.
I would say it is a silent killer for
Okay.
everyone. Why I would say that? Because you are talking to a screen today, which is not replying back to you. Okay. And you are developing a system called dopamine.
Yeah.
Okay. You have a dopamine in your brain. Dopamine means what? It is a physiological response to a reward. So I say today I come to your podcast and you will give me some amount of money. So I'll be more excited. Oh, something is happening. And so there is a reward thing. What your phone will give is it gives reward which is unexpected, either in a positive, in a negative way. So you get reward in a small bits and chunks. When you see the reels, when you see the phone, when you see your YouTube or any kind of platforms of social media, what happens? You are so dependent on that. Okay, whenever you go outside, you need that attention from the social aspect. How you're receiving in your Instagram by continuous notifications are there. But when you go out, you have to put efforts. The notification will not come and help you saying that, "Ki, yeah, how are you? I know your Instagram. I'm your Instagram followers." Not like that. In the real world, you have to talk to that person. You have to give some time to that person, that what is the problem he is discussing with you, and you have to listen to that person. So what is happening, that listening to the another person, because you do not feel, because screen, when you're scrolling, you are getting information in bits, and it's changing, either positive, negative, emotional, either happy, anger, fear, political, might be in many things. So these are the different factors which impact your dopamine, which impact your fear centers in your brain and emotional centers, which is your limbic system. And because of that, you feel drained out when you come home. Now, how our system of yoga and naturopathy brings in a picture, that when you go out and you feel this kind of situation, I would say that before meeting with people, just start doing the slow breathing.
Okay.
Slow breathing in the sense, I'm going to meet people and I'm feeling the very difficulty. I would sit for 5 minutes before going out from my home, do for deep, slow breathing. Okay. And when I move out, my brain, it's kind of a slow detox has happened because I'm not seeing the screen. And when I move out, do not focus on the screen, just move out, meet with people, interact with them, not with the factor that your phone is around. Just interact naturally and come back home. Again, do the 5 minutes of or 10 minutes of slow breathing, and you will feel the difference. When you come home, it is not drained out. What happens? We are dependent either on screen and either on the dopamine or a reward when we meet people. So I'm meeting you not dependent on a reward. That's why I'm enjoying today. If not, it would create a problem in my mind, mental state.
That is like super interesting, to be honest. Okay.
True, true.
And I have one more question. Since you're saying that, we need to mentally and emotionally basically prepare our body and our brain before we go out because of the social exhaustion and all that. I've heard of this whole practice called grounding. Do you think I don't know much about it, but what I basically know is that it really helps with, anxiety, not anxiety, but like all the social exhaustion and this draining effects that people have after social gatherings altogether.
So, how do we understand grounding? Okay. So, if you go outside, we have very good concept called Sthiram Sukham Asanam. Okay. So, whatever you do, okay. So, suppose I'm sitting here, I should be comfortable.
Yeah.
I should be enjoying this posture, and I should be smiling while attaining this posture. Okay, yeah, I'm comfortable. That is one thing. Second thing which the yoga says to me is Chale vate chale chittam nishchalam nishchale bhavet. Means I should work on my posture. I should work on my breath. Breath, how fast I'm breathing, my thought process would increase that speed of, like if I'm thinking about 10 thoughts in 1 second, and I'm going out, that would increase up to 30 to 40 thoughts in 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. But if I follow the deep breathing, if I follow the grounding, which would say that, okay, I'm just walking, having mindful approach about where I'm going.
Okay.
It should not about what I'll get from that place where I'm going. Today I'm going to meet with my friends. So who they are my childhood friends.
Yeah.
I should be meeting with them as a childhood friends. I should enjoy them. Okay. I should remember those instances where we used to enjoy in my childhood time. And then I should discuss with them. Okay. So, you remember that when we used to play there. So these kind of things are not there. And second, one more challenge I have seen, that the nuclear and the joint family concept.
Okay.
Right now, I'm working, I stay alone, and many people do have this problem because now I'm staying alone. So now, if suppose you keep me in the area where the 10 or 20 people are there, it is automatically giving me a problem. Oh, 20 people. How he's sitting like that? He's not keeping the mug in the right place. he is using my home not in a proper way. So I'm not happy because I'm habituated to stay alone. Now I'm not prepared if 20 people come to my place.
Okay.
Gathering is of 50 and 100 people, again that is the same issue. But if I come from a joint family where I've seen 10, 15 people in my home, so I believe that that time I'll not be worried about it because I'm prepared, planned and trained from my childhood that this is normal.
Okay.
So one is the social arrangement in the home. Second is that how grounded you are when that social arrangement is there.
Okay.
And third is your practices. And one is mindfulness about what you are doing. And second is your breath work. Okay. And if these two things with the social arrangement in your home is good,
Hmm.
then you can survive your workplace, you can survive your wedding, or you can survive your any kind of social arrangements outside your home.
Okay. That's like I think that's a wonderful way of putting all the joining all the dots together.
Okay.
So I have one more question related to whatever you just said just now. So can you just tell me just one type of breathing practice that we can practice at home before going for all these gatherings, or before engaging in a lot of family get-togethers for that matter. One type of breathing practice, and how many times we should do that before we go out and engage ourselves in such
Okay.
activities.
So I would say w- keep yourself very simple.
Yeah.
Suppose I'm sitting like this in front of you
Mm.
and I just close my eyes. I'm not ask you to do anulom vilom, nadi shuddhi. Why? Because if I give the terms, they feel no, it will take some amount of time. For the beginners who do not want to start anything, just close your eyes. First, analyze yourself where you are. Try to remember your surroundings, what kind of sounds you are listening to, and then focus on your breath. Is it fast? Is it slow? So keep your finger below to your nose and just feel the speed of your breathing. Okay, if it is too fast, it means your too much of activation is there, too much of stress is there. So now what I'll do, I'll ask myself, okay, no problem. I'm sitting here, everything is good. Just tell to my brain, and then now focus on my breath. Enjoy yourself. You want to use mudra, no mudra. I would say you relax. If you want to lie down, lie down. If you are on chair, be on the chair. Just focus on your breath work. Inhale very slowly. Just focus on the speed of your breath. It should not be fast. If you want, you can use counters like 1, 2, 3, 4 in your brain. And then when you exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure that your exhalation is bit longer than your inhalation.
Okay.
That is the small book I'm going to give it to all of us. And if you practice this for 5 minutes,
Mhm.
open your eyes after 5 minutes and start anything. I would say 20% of your productivity will increase just doing this.
Okay.
I'm not asked you to use your hands.
Mm.
I'm not asked you to use anything. I just asked you to close your eyes, feel the change in the environment, and just work on it.
Okay, lovely. I think I'm going to try this when I go back. I personally need it.
Okay.
Okay, so let's move on to the third question. What are some of the most common neurological and mental health challenges currently affecting people in India, and how do they manifest, and how do they start manifesting,
Yeah.
basically?
So I would say there is a survey which has happened in 2015, National Health Mental Survey,
Okay.
and in which we have found there are three major things which is affecting our population. One is
Okay.
depression, second is your anxiety, and third would be your substance use.
Okay.
Okay. So now I come to depression, anxiety, substance use. These all are brain chemistry. So it means you have a chemistry in your brain,
Yeah.
and now you have put something, okay, extra in that chemistry. So it is reacting and giving you some issues with that. And while having all these issues, you have the challenges with your functionality.
Okay.
So people will ask many times, sir, I'm depressed. Itself face, sir, I'm depressed, I am having anxiety. I would say, how do you define that you are depressed? Because being a doctor, I have not addressed you are a depressed patient, but how do you say that, no, sir, I feel depressed? The everything is fine if your functionality, your office, your home, your sleep, and your appetite, if these four functions of your life is affected, and you are not able to perform all these four things, or hygiene is one of the important thing in this, four or five things, that means now you are seriously had some issues. Now you should meet with a psychiatrist.
Okay.
Okay, this is when you have developed a complete disease. Now, I would say that a person who knows that I'm feeling depressed, that means the patient can be saved to become a full blown a patient.
Okay.
So that time, yoga, naturopathy, or the lifestyle, all things would help. Now, again, what is depression? Where the patient is losing interest in its own activities. Suppose I used to like painting or writing. Now I'm not having interest. I'm just sitting quiet in one of the corners in the room and very dull. My posture is very dull, stoop. I'm not focusing on anything. My either appetite will increase too much or decrease too much. No good sleep. Okay, early awakening in the morning. These are the basic symptoms. Okay. When it comes to anxiety, again, why anxiety? We all say I'm also facing anxiety during my exam. Okay, during my podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, so these things would happen, but this is not a constant thing.
Okay.
Okay, so it is something which is constant throughout the day. Any situation comes, I'm stressed. I'm not able to manage that stress, and that will lead to you a full blown anxiety in a patient. And when it comes to substance, what kind of substance we are using? Alcohol, tobacco, opioid, and many other substances which are available in the market. What is a major issue is today, as I discussed, dopamine is very important for us. Dopamine tells us that I'm getting reward about this activity. So I do that. What happens when you start consuming this alcohol, tobacco? The factor which is giving you reward is taken by the substance.
Okay.
Before it was giving the dopamine.
Yeah.
Now dopamine is not giving. You are getting the reward by the substance, either alcohol, tobacco, or whatever it is. So now you are dependent on that. That is why you get dependent after so many years. For the common layman example. So that is why these three things are there. Now we talk about yoga. So in starting, we say what yoga will do, what naturopathy will do. So I bring these two therapies, which is not dependent on any medicine, which is correcting first your lifestyle, which is correcting your sleep cycle, which is correcting your food habits, which is correcting your education about the problem which is coming to you, and again, then giving you some practices which will improve your stress HP axis, which is impaired during stress.
Yeah.
Okay, which will help you to come out from your relapses
Yeah.
in substance use, which will help you to reduce your cravings. When we go in detail, we will discuss about all these things, but that's how we can come out all these situations. But I would say that okay, these three things can be managed till the time I say, sir, I am depressed, I am having anxiety. But when the person loses that, then he and she needs to go to a psychiatrist, visit. And there is a lot problem with stigma of mental health, and we believe these kind of conversation should help people to come out and reach out to us.
So I have you were mentioning about these individuals or patients who say that who if they don't say also their body language, right,
True.
they're distancing themselves, they're not eating their food, they cannot get up and do their regular personal hygiene and all that. So if you see, like, from what I've noticed, most of them have a hunch. So this is a very offbeat kind of a question. Is posture connected to breathing? Like, people who have a hunchback, are those individuals more stressed out or more depressed?
So it's a very interesting question for me because I was in Nimhans. During that time, my professor, Dr. Hemant Bhargav, used to tell me if any patient used to stoop and sit like this, that means one of the thing which we tell that the patient is depressed.
Okay.
But the question is, do we have a data on that? No. Have we worked on that? Still, it is a question for me, for you also to explore on this. But yeah, if you ask me subjectively, when I work with patients, yes, improving the posture or back bend practices in yoga improves your breath work.
Yeah.
I'm not using word pranayama because pranayama is very far away from the regular practice.
Okay.
I use Shwasavasa pranayama or a breath work. So it improves your breath work. So it is improving your breath work, opening up your chest. It allows you to expand, and it says that psychologically, okay, when you expand your chest, you feel the positivity.
Okay.
So if you feel that, you sit like this, down your shoulders, and just that would not give you positivity, but you just open your arms. There is in and out, hands in and out practice
Yeah.
in yoga. It's a loosening practice. And you do with breathing, just like how we see in movies, Shah Rukh Khan do that. I would say that that brings positivity.
Okay.
Why it is correlated with love or romance?
Yeah.
Because it brings that positivity when you see the person, when you see and attire that posture.
Okay.
So that is correlated psychologically with your wiring of your brain.
Okay.
But I do not know, data is not there. So I would say subjectively it is connected. Objectively, we need to do research.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And what about, like, you're saying the hand stretch breathing, it's a loosening practice. So does this increase the oxygen saturation in the body, or I mean, they say the moment you stretch your hands and you open your chest, you feel more positive. Is that because more of the oxygen saturation in the body goes up, or
I would
why?
say that ki again, I have not worked. See, there is no such claims we can do that. But I would say that based on the basic physiology, when you open your arms, you allow your chest, your diaphragm, okay, your lung area to expand, and that's why you can breathe more.
Okay.
And when you breathe more, that time you can say that yeah, the saturation levels are improving, and that allows a person to improve his blood flow to the
Okay.
brain.
Lovely.
Okay. And now, if it is improving the blood flow to the brain, it is supposed to be okay, it might impact that area where the limbic system is, where you feel positive or endorphins are released. Might be one of the hypothesis. I would say that
Okay, lovely. At least we have
a kind
something
of
to, yeah,
approach. Yeah.
a kind of approach. Yeah, lovely. So now let's move on to the fourth question. Many communities experience high rates of stress related to unemployment, academic pressure, social change. What impact does chronic stress have on the brain altogether? Like really bad chronic stress.
So I would say first we should understand that what do you mean by stress?
Mm.
I would say short term of stress is really good for my body because I perform better.
Okay.
Okay, what do you mean by stress? Stress is a physiological response where you have releasing the cortisol in your bloodstream.
Okay.
So hypothalamus in the brain, which gives signal to pituitary gland, then gives signal to your adrenal glands. Please secrete the cortisol. Then Dr. Amy says, "Wow, I'm performing better."
Yeah.
Then what happens? That cortisol performs its function in a pulsatile mode. It should go back to my brain. Work is done.
Yeah.
But your work is done, your performance is finished. Now you should go back. But that is not happening when the chronic stress is there.
Okay.
So, because of the continuous stress in your physical stress or the mental stress or the emotional stress, that cortisol, which goes back to your brain, which we say negative feedback mechanism, is not going. So, if I say that throughout the day, cortisol I keep in your bloodstream, how you will behave? You will be agitated. Palpitation means fast breathing, sweating. That's how the chronic stress started.
Okay.
And one thing which is correlated with this chronic stress is biological clock.
Okay.
Biological clock is given in our brain, which we say is suprachiasmatic nucleus. It's a brain area which will give you, if you correct your eating time, sleeping time, okay, office time, like connected. So everything is scheduled. Okay, so what happens when you start your day in the morning? Cortisol is at peak. That's why you feel, let's do take a bath, full hygiene, then you go to office and you perform better. When you come in the night, you feel, okay, now I should go back to sleep. Why that is happening? Cortisol is coming down throughout the day. At the night, it is very low. It should be low, and melatonin is increasing in your brain.
Okay.
That's why you feel, okay, let's sleep now. What happens? You are using screen. Okay, these are the screen, phone. You are allowing that factor, cortisol, to be there in your bloodstream. One of the reason that you are not getting sleep. What happens? I have seen a reel which is making me anxious, fearful. So my amygdala, in our brain which is activated. Now it allows my brain to release more cortisol, adrenaline, because I'm not able to deal with that situation. So I'm acting fast, this, that. Now I'm tired. I'm sweating. I'm palpitating because of the situation I've seen in my phone. Now you ask me, oh, no, 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 you please switch off. Now close your eyes and sleep. Do you think it will happen?
No.
No. So it means the screen and the screen visuals allows a different emotional hunger in the night time, allows you to cortisol levels high, melatonin very low. You try to sleep, you will not get sleep. Then you need 1 or 2 hours on your bed, one side to another side, and then you try to sleep. That is one of the reason to reach to the chronic stress.
Okay.
You're not reaching to a chronic stress in a day. Suppose I am reaching to a lifestyle disorder, chronic stress, it means I have given this same schedule to my body for almost 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. So my body said, boss, now I'm tired. Now I cannot protect you. I'll give you this disorder, that disorder, and that's how the circle works.
Okay. In this, I've seen a lot of my patients. When they talk about stress, they always refer that to a mental definition. They stick to a mental definition, right? But is stress also of, like you mentioned just now, it's physical, it's emotional, and because of all the types of stresses that we get, cortisol goes up, right? So can you just talk about how when our tummy is not doing its proper digestion, or or we're having gastric for a very long time, gut issues, gut related issues, that is that also stress?
True. I would say that I was reading yesterday before coming to this podcast. 70% of serotonin is produced near your gut.
Okay.
Okay. Most of the what you say immunity factors are produced near the gut. Now you are taking ultra processed food,
Hmm.
packet food, lots of sugar, salt, maida, and red meat, whatever I would quote here. And now your gut is not performing better. So now what is happening? Your immunity is hampered. So if your immunity is not good, that means you are calling inflammatory markers or inflammation, please come and grow the levels of inflammation in my body. So inflammation is growing. So if inflammation is growing, that signal is going to brain also.
Yeah.
कि our body is having some issues. Now brain is sending same signal to the body कि body is in danger. So body has a protective mechanism that will release cortisol, that will release other neurotransmitters in our body, which will have this vice versa arrangement of gut brain axis, which leads to many issues. One thing I would say that we talk about stress related gut issues.
Yeah.
If it continues for 5 years, 6 years, it leads to most of the time IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. Because when stress is there, your gut reacts. When stress you remove, gut is normal.
Okay.
That's a very good example to correlate with stress. Yeah. So your each and every part of your body, I would say that, is correlated with stress. Stress is really good. Again, I'm quoting this because people will take it, no, 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 stress is not good. If stress is not good, then I would not able to perform my daily activities, because that needs to be performed. Excellence, academic excellence, my work performance,
Yeah.
my family responsibilities, needs to be huge stress, positive stress to be taken, to be dealt every day.
Okay, perfect. So I've also heard that, I've once read this paper that said that even people who are very active in their lifestyle, we're talking people who run a lot, who go to the gym, who lift weights, who have a proper diet, like a very fit lifestyle, I would say. Their BMI is in check, they're not obese, they're not even unhealthy.
Yes.
It's not even close to what they are. But when we check their sugar levels, it's always beyond a certain level. They either pre-diabetic, the HbA1c is always on the higher side, irrespective of whatever they do. So do you think that can be caused because of chronic stress?
I would say yes,
Okay.
but you said ke perfect lifestyle.
Yeah.
I would say, what is there in that lifestyle? You have a life and you are giving a style to that.
Okay.
So I would say that do not give a style to that. Just be normal. You need to ask your body to do a physical workout for 45 minutes or 1 hour in a day. You do not stretch to 6 hours a day. You are not an athlete right now. I'm talking about the common population. And that 1% of population go for the sports that needs the development of endurance, strength, flexibility. But for a common man, do you need 4 hours of gym? And if you are doing the gym, that it's you are activating the whole body, have rest and digest. So rest and digest is a part of parasympathetic nervous system.
Okay.
But what I'm doing is no, no, no. How you can rest and digest? My complete activity throughout the day is very lifelong, like which we say healthy. You said the gym, you say exercise, you say proper food, proper timing. But how much? The balance is not there.
Yeah.
I've seen so many people who go for gym, who go for exercises, who go for good diet. They miss the real ingredients. If you are from northeast region, I'm from the western Rajasthan, my genetics are modulated in such a way that I am feeling comfortable with the food which I have started in the local.
Yeah.
So in northeastern region, I've seen the fermented foods, the boiled vegetables, sorted, these kind of soup, these kind of things are very promoted from their heritage.
Yes.
And these foods are very good for their gut health. But if you shift to processed food, if you shift to the white sugar, shift to the maida breads or English breakfast, and then you ask me, sir, I'm doing my gym, I'm doing my whatnot lifestyle, I have the perfect lifestyle, but still my sugar levels are, you're not helping your gut, which is trained by genetically to accept the food.
Okay.
My gut can accept the food which is grown locally, uh, cooked locally with the local ingredients. I would perform better. My gut will be the best. But if I go to the Kanyakumari, go to the Jammu Kashmir, and I would face some kind of challenges because my genetic modulation is not so easy to adaptable. So I need to invest 5 years, 10 years, and few people will not have that adaptability, even they spend entire life.
Okay.
So either genetic modulation is there, one of the major thing. Second thing, balance. So balance is not there, excessive of body stress. That also leads you chronic stress in the body. And all these things will make your insulin resistance.
Okay.
If your insulin is resistant or you are giving this change of food habits, which is not required for your body, I would say people start trying with different kind of foods, a packet food, ultra processed food. What happens with that? Your body is not accepting that food and you go up to autoimmune disorders
Okay.
in the future, which is multiple sclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis. There are so many autoimmune disorders just because all these factors.
Wow. You definitely defined that. You explained that in a very, neat way. So I love that. Okay. So coming to the next, um, young people are increasingly exposed to social media, like you said, and digital technology. How excessive screen time is affecting the memory, and how is it affecting emotional regulation altogether?
Okay. So memory and sleep,
Mm.
I would say that they are very correlated. So if I sleep well, as I mentioned before the podcast started, okay, for this podcast, I slept nicely. Why? Because my thought process should be clean and I should able to remember my previous what you say memory
Yeah.
of my work, my experiences, because that has to be used in this podcast. Suppose if I have not slept more than 17 hours to 18 hours in a day and I'm doing this for 10 days, 20 days, I'm abusing my body more than alcohol can do.
Wow.
I'm not I'm not drinking alcohol, but I'm not sleeping. It is affecting my body more than alcohol can affect my body. So
Okay.
now comparison will happen. So and how it is related with the teenager or my age people with the screen, because my whole work is on screen. I understand that. Do I need to give a break? Yes, because my attention levels are decreasing day by day. I'm using the screen. So you have suppose you are coming from Meghalaya to Delhi. I have asked you to take a train, not flight. And now I asked you to change your station, or change your train at every station.
Oh my
You will reach to Delhi someday. I do not know when, but you will
God.
reach to Delhi. Do you think that would help your body, brain, and mind?
No.
You'll be agitated, irritated. Why this person is doing like that? Same way I'm doing with the screen. Every 2 minutes, my emotion, fear, happy, anger. So my all the emotions are changing every. So I'm distracting every bit and pieces. Those distraction is leading to my attention is not there. If I'm not focusing on Dr. Emmy's discussion right now, whether my memory would activate. So memory region mostly is in hippocampus.
Yeah.
And they are correlated with your sleep.
Okay.
So if your sleep is not proper, your memory generation is not going to help. And if I'm able to have deep sleep, so sleep has two component: non-rapid eye movement, rapid eye movement, where you have a sleep where dreams will come, where dreams will not come. If you have a sleep where dreams will come, the repair of body, whatever happened in the day would get restored, like replay. So you have seen one episode yesterday, the replay will happen in your dream sleep. If you get that deep sleep, the memory get wired so strongly, it saved permanently.
Okay.
So now you'll ask, deep sleep is important? I would say yes, but not dream sleep. I would say both are important.
Okay.
That's how our body is designed. First, to maintain the daily activities or daily learning. Second, to maintain the previous learnings of our body. So that is one thing. And because of that, now many people will say, again, you bought from here to meditation. I would say, if a student who has a work on phone, tab, a screen, if they give micro breaks of breath work or a meditation, focusing on a breath work and focus on their like would say thought, would say the work, it would improve their memory.
Okay.
Okay, so I would say a short meditation, I would say a short meditation, a practice of a good sleep would help you to reduce the impact of screen in the teenager and adolescent.
Okay.
So these are the very major factors. So again, I would say कि sleep, sleep, sleep. I would wear a mala of sleep, and I would say कि yeah, that is very important to
Okay.
maintain your memory and your complete body health.
All right. So, some of my patients, they say that, their sleep cycle is very messed up, in a sense that there are days where they come back home a little early, maybe at around 9. So they sleep by 10 to 6. And there are days they, reach home by 12:30 midnight. And then they sleep at 1 and wake up the next day maybe by 9 or 10. So they still, irrespective of their lifestyle and their timings, work timings, they still manage to get that, 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So is that good, or should they stick to that regular 10 to 6, or what do you
I would
how do you
say that
explain that?
if somebody's work profile is like that, they have to come in two shifts.
Mm,
I cannot protect them because it's an occupational hazard.
yeah.
Because of your occupation, you have to sleep like that. But it is not same for everyone. So there is some occupation where you need to have a disturbance in your timing of sleep. But I would say that if you do not have such problems, please try to achieve your exact timing of sleep. If you achieve that, your body inflammation levels will come down, which is related to your stress. So
Okay.
today, Dr. Amy is in stress because she has traveled for this broadcast. Stress levels are high, inflammation markers might be high in your body. But what she did, she went on bed 10 o'clock sharp, which is her regular time, and woke up at 6 in the morning, which is her regular time. Your body repaired whatever you have taken the stress.
Okay.
So I'm doing the everyday repair. I said to you before coming here, I've taken a good rest. Why? Because I needed that repair. If not that, if that was not done, I would have some issues while talking to you because my focus would be, what you were saying. Because I used to have more power to my attention to bring back this energy.
Okay.
So I would say that yes,
Hmm.
this is required.
Lovely. And I also have one more question. So, I hear a lot of people saying that, it's very important to remember your dream or to recall your dream because, yeah, it's very good for your memory. Is that true?
I would say It's not completely true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
We should not see. There are so many things. I would not remember my dreams every day. It does not mean my memory is not good.
Okay. All right. But then I do hear people saying that, neurons get reactivated when you try, you really push yourself hard in the morning to recall at least a few snippets or to connect the dots when you wake up in the morning of all your dreams. Is that true?
I would ask you one thing. Whatever you see in the dream, is that real?
I'm not sure because
Yeah.
deja vu happens.
Characters would
Mm,
change. There, you live a very new life there. Okay.
mm,
What I would feel is the connectivity. If people can remember, everybody cannot remember that. But in memory, what happens when you start recalling yourself? So suppose there are three or four kinds of memory: short-term memory, long-term memory, and there is one more memory which is related with your stress, is called working memory. So today, whoever is listening to us when this comes live, it would be as a working memory. They're listening to us. It is stored for 10 to 15 seconds,
yeah.
but they give stress on that 10 to 15 seconds. It might be stored for some amount of time and they have slept nicely. That memory is recovered because of the good sleep.
Okay.
But what happened? I have not slept for 10 days. So now my body is not getting rest to recover those segments of memory. How memory is developed? It's a neuron connections. So I'm shaking the hand for once. You feel the touch and you remember the touch. Okay. So now that is once. But I have not done this practice from next 10 years. Do you think after 10 years you shake my hands, I'll remember your touch? No.
No.
Same thing with the brain wiring. So it's like a wiring.
Okay.
So one wire is started from point A to point B, stuck. Now it has to be more strong. Then I had to have a proper sleep. It gets more strong. Then again, I have to perform the same activity like revision of the thing. It will get more strong. I do revision again, like after 6 months, I have revised something, or the situation comes again. The memories get stronger and stronger when the same thing repeats. But if you face one time and then next time it is not coming, definitely you are going to forget, because brain has a tendency, it will not keep all the burden.
Yeah.
Okay, it will keep what is necessary for you. So if you do not, so today we are seeing so many things in this room. Do you think I'll remember everything? My brain will delete most of the information which is not required for me.
Okay.
But I will remember in the morning in the podcast, there was one good book which was kept in the shelf. That would, what you are asking, that would bring my working memory to short term and long term memory.
Okay.
So that would be a kind of thing which we are looking for.
I think memory is like a very maybe we can talk about it in another episode. Maybe I think it's a very heavy heavy topic altogether. But yeah, I understand what you're saying and it makes so much sense, right? Because sometimes we have this false notion of half information. Like we see some few snippets on Instagram from these reels or YouTube for that matter, that if you do this happens.
Yeah.
So we don't really go deep into that. And then with that, we just, have false claims altogether. Okay. So now let's somehow go back to what I spoke about earlier and asked you about food and about how this gut brain axis plays such a big role, where you said that people in different regions of India or the world for that matter, their genetics are very rooted, right, to what they eat and to their behaviors and all that. So in this, let's talk a bit about this gut brain axis. Okay. So now could you explain to us what it is and how it kind of impacts our overall health?
So basically, from the beginning, I'm saying if you maintain your brain health really good, your body will perform really good. Okay. Have you seen any monks having gut issues?
No.
No. Have you seen anyone who is doing a regular yoga practice, following a normal lifestyle? I'm not saying super lifestyle, normal lifestyle with a basic yoga. Do they face any problems? I would say I have not heard so many cases. No. What are the challenges do we see when we talk about gut brain axis? Gut is what? Where you are, whatever you're eating, it is interacting that food. So today I had coffee, or today I had, in Delhi we say paratha a lot. Okay, when you go to any other extent of that, you will change that food. That paratha is interacting with my stomach, the hormones in my stomach, okay, secretions, and then it go for the, what you say, my gut, my intestine, so many things, everything. The nerves connections are connected to my brain. And why I'm saying that, the formation of serotonin, okay, which is very much required for our brain health, is produced in your gut.
Okay.
Again, you say, in COVID we have heard about immunity a lot.
Yeah.
Now if you say your immunity, I would say, if your immune cells has to be prepared well, that has to be prepared near the gut.
Okay.
Okay. So again, that is also, so if my brain says this food is good, or your gut says this food is good, that is a good access to develop the gut brain. Okay. Then again, we have prebiotic, we have probiotics. So what we have in gut, we have a microbes.
Yeah.
So prebiotics is like feeding or helping those microbes to grow in our gut, which is required for our body, and which is helping in your mood also.
Okay.
So if your gut brain axis is good, your mood is good. Do you think when your gut is upset, you will feel to do more good amount of work? Your mood is not good at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so many people are there who is constipated, or either they have like a lot of frequency, like loose motions are there. Do you think both the cases patient enjoys?
No.
They want to have the balance of the gut, and prebiotic and probiotic are the major factor to improve your gut health. I talk about your region, I talk about many other regions in this country. They take green leafy vegetables. Okay. They take fermented foods. That is like a prebiotic, which will help to grow the microbes, which is good microbes in my gut. But when it comes to the probiotic, which is my curd, or kind of buttermilk, which I say, that will help to grow those microbes. Okay. And these microbes would decide how my gut and brain axis would be.
Okay.
And those, when the balance is happening, suppose today I have taken any kind of medicine which has flush out my microbes in my gut because of the antibiotic or any other reason, doctor will ask you to take pre and probiotic
Yeah.
most of the time. Why? Because the medicine do not know what is good and bad, so flushed out everything. Now you have to regrow. And when you see that, when the prebiotic and probiotic is given to a patient, and when after a month or 2 months the patient says, yeah, it is happening good, his mood levels will improve.
Okay.
And his mood is related with the stress
Okay.
again. So why I'm coming to stress, gut brain axis, all these things are correlated with each other. If your mood is not good, mood is correlated with your gut brain axis, and your gut brain axis will maintain your good amount of emotional health, physical health, and I would say a mental health also.
Okay. So I've seen this with a lot of my patients as well in my clinic, that when their gut is compromised, their like you said, inflammation also flares up, right? So I have a lot of RA cases in my clinic. So in my RA cases, I've seen that majority of the RA patients are heavily constipated. That's the first thing. And because they're constipated, they have a lot of joint pain.
Okay.
So is that also connected?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Hmm.
So I would say that the constipation is there. So it means the gut is not clean.
Mm-mm.
I would ask you one question of what you do at the first step to that patient in
Sorry.
your clinic.
Yeah.
If a patient comes, what would you advise as a primary thing to the patient?
To basically eat clean and have a bit more fiber in their
Bit
diet.
more fiber. What fiber is doing to the body?
It's making the roughage of your
Yeah.
digestive system, right?
So fiber is allowing a medium to grow microbes, which is good for my gut.
Mm-mm.
And that microbes with probiotic, which is called buttermilk, and we say curd, together allows my clean my bowel.
Okay.
And that you do it, as you said. That's why I asked. So you said you are doing that, and
Yeah.
after that patient will come. Yeah, ma'am. I'm feeling good. That feeling good is what? The stomach, or in their language, my gut is clean. If that is clean, it means the gut brain axis, the levels of your neurohormones are balancing towards the right way. It means it helps the immunity factor, which I said the last question.
Yeah.
70% is developed near that.
Mm.
So if I'm improving this immunity factor for your patient by giving the green leafy vegetables, what you say, fibers, roughage, probiotics like curd, buttermilk, what I'm doing, I fermented foods. What I'm doing that I'm created an environment where the immunity also grows, and because of that, what happens? Your patient says, "Sir, after your diet, after your lifestyle change, my joint pain is reducing, or my like RA factors, which we check, it will improve in the patient."
Okay, lovely. And I've also seen this very strong correlation of vitamin D deficiency patients. So I read in one case study that it stated that people or patients who, or individuals for that matter, having low vitamin D are more prone to having fatty liver or liver related issues. Their liver profiles after a few months or after maybe a year or so, it goes up and down. Is that true?
So what I would say that today we are sitting in this room.
Yeah.
Is this room giving sunlight to me? I would say no.
No.
How my entire day would be the same, either in front of desktop or in the closed environment where the sunlight is not there. Now you talked about that vitamin D. So vitamin D absorption would not be there properly. Okay, if absorption is not there, it has an impact on the metabolic factors in your body.
Okay.
So those metabolic factors which help your food to convert into short chain fatty acid will not be there, and that is one of the major reason when you give the supplement
Okay.
of vitamin D, the patient says, yes, it is helping out, because it is, I would say, there is not much studies available, the direct correlation, but one of the reason would be this, that helps in converting into short chain fatty acids, and that is why a patient would feel more comfortable, because the factors which are restricting a person from having a good liver health is improving.
Okay. That makes so much sense actually. I mean I just came across this one paper once upon a time. I think it was a few months back
Okay.
because I saw a very strong relation. I kind of took 3 or 4 patients of mine. We took their blood work, the liver function test, and we saw that the cholesterol levels were 300 plus. Okay, and then in that, what we did was, based on the case study, it said that, vitamin D rich food items. So all of these individuals liked mushrooms a lot. So we just exposed the mushrooms to the sunlight early in the morning, and then we fed them mushrooms, sun dried mushrooms, for three times per week for around, I think it was around 4 weeks.
Okay.
And then after 4 weeks, these individuals who were 50 plus saw that after 15 years the cholesterol just dropped. Right. So I think, like you said, there's a strong connection or correlation, right?
Yeah, that's what I said, na, कि your HDL levels will improve,
Mm.
and your very low lipoprotein will go down. And you said mushroom is one of the factor.
Yeah.
And why you're doing the sunlight exposure to that mushroom, that it would give the vitamin D not as a supplement but as a supporting factors to your
Okay.
body.
Makes so much sense. You just connected all the dots. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So, many people experience stress and digestive issues simultaneously. What is the scientific connection between gut stress? Of course, you did talk about cortisol and serotonin. Is there anything else other than that?
I would say that yes. I talked about suprachiasmatic nucleus, which is a biological clock. So suppose Dr. Emily started this conversation, and we are doing the same conversation every day. This is our routine. And before started this podcast, we used to drink ginger honey tea.
Yeah.
Post podcast ginger honey tea, and we are doing this practice. So my gut is now trained. Okay, this person, whenever it starts talking to this person at this particular time, then he will drink the ginger honey tea. That's my brain which is prepared for. Now, what is the issue is, no, 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 no. Today I drink coffee, tomorrow I'll drink tea, then day after tomorrow some energy drink. I'm not fixing my food every day what I should take.
Yeah.
I am not fixing the timing also. So there is no breakfast time, no lunch time, no dinner time, no snacking time. Whenever I feel that I should eat, I'm eating it. So one thing is that. So what happens? 1 o'clock, the body secretes the gastric juice, but I'm eating every day 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay. Again, my body is trained to start releasing gastric juice at 2 o'clock. No, no, boss, how you did? Again, I started eating at 12 in the noon.
Okay.
My body says this person is mad. When I'm releasing at 1, this person is not eating. When I'm releasing at 2, this person is not eating. Body gets fed up.
Okay.
So your biological clock takes 90 days to restart.
Okay.
Okay, 3 months at least to like set the biological clock. Why biological clock? Your body is so set with the sunrise and sunset. If you see, and where there is no sunrise and sunset also, they are very trained with that. If they come to India, they will have a problem
Okay.
because your body, your hormones, as I said, no, body start morning started, cortisol is high. So do you think that cortisol is related with my gut also? Yes.
Yes.
So during my food time, the cortisol should be very less. What I do, I take my phone, put some web series,
Yeah.
or not to scroll. Ha, yes, I'm eating my food. Yes. So the mindfulness component towards food is gone. The temperature which we feel on the hand when we eat food, which is gone because I'm using the artificial spoon, fork, or many artificial things to eat my food because I'm using my phone. So hygiene I'm maintaining and I'm not looking for the a basic food habit.
Yeah.
I'm doing that. So it means my biological clock is not correlated. So my hormones and gastric juices or the gut brain axis is not getting a reset time. Every day I am challenging my gut. Today I eat at 1, tomorrow I did 2. And that is one of the reason that you will develop a stress
Okay.
again. And second one, the most important problem which happens with all these things is insulin resistance.
Okay.
So if your SCN is not good, which is a normal clock, you are calling diabetes, yes, please come to my body. You are calling all the gastric juices impairment because it is releasing. So if my gastric juices is releasing when there is nothing in the body, it will hamper my linings, the layers of my body. So that is why I should be having a fixed schedule, at least for the food and sleep.
Okay. Is this why a lot of these autoimmune cases are rising because of this? Because the body, like, is so fed up, like you said, like internally, it's really struggling. No, to especially when you don't know that it takes 90 days. Like I
Yeah.
personally didn't know that it took 90 days to reset the
At
gut.
least 3 months is required to reset your complete cycle. And it is mostly seen with the females with now you have seen PCOS.
Yeah.
Now many girls, many females would say PCOS is there. I would say that have you checked your lifestyle? Not lifestyle going for gym. My lifestyle is proper sleep, proper timing of food, 1 hour of either brisk walk or exercise or gym, anything. And your work environment, all these things, even how I talk socially is also correlated with my stress, with
Okay.
my emotional health, with my hormonal health. So I would say that yes, everything is correlated. I should not talk about brain only, then everything is else. It's not.
So yeah, I mean, it's amazing how the body altogether is so interconnected.
Yeah.
And how, because of the food choices that we make, it has such a big impact on our emotional health, our mental health, our physical health, for that matter, joint health. So like I said earlier, most of my patients who have RA, they are the same patients who have eczema as well, right? So all of these things are so interconnected. So coming to the whole yoga and naturopathy part again, the next question is, can yoga and meditation actually change the structure and functioning of the brain?
A very good question. I love to answer that.
Okay.
I would love to take 2 to 3 minutes for that. So when we talk about yoga, okay, yoga people might feel it's not a complete word. Yoga and Prakritik Chikitsa in Hindi and yoga and naturopathy. What happens when you perform the yoga? I said to you in the starting wiring. Okay, you wire and fire together. Okay,
Okay.
so my wiring is good because I'm practicing yoga every day.
Mm.
There are chances that my wiring is connecting my brain in such a way that my brain is learning a good habits every day. So it is like neuroplasticity. So if I do good habits for my body, a good thing will happen. If I do bad, a bad thing will happen. Okay, habit wise. So I am started yoga for 1 hour. It is developing a neuroplasticity after 3 months or 6 months of yoga practice, and I'm continuing that. Now you said what would happen if I do. So what would happen? That neuroplasticity will happen. That neuroplasticity will help you to improve your emotional health. It means improving your limbic system in your brain. Okay. Then second, improving your neuronal connection for memory.
Okay.
So helping your memory to be strong. So you will not be forgetful for small things. Start having like your attention would improve. So next thing would happen is attention. So when you are doing every day this, you are away from your screen, away from everything. It will help you to draw your attention very clearly in your workplace, in your family, in your social gathering. That is one thing. And these are the things. Now there are few studies from the meditator's perspective,
Okay.
which says that hippocampal size has improved. I said hippocampal is what? Memory.
Mm.
So now your memory center is improving when you do yoga every day, which we have seen in the meditators who is doing regular yoga.
Yeah.
Okay, I am not seen. I'm talking about the general population. If they can if I can do, then you can also do. If meditators can do this, then this can. Gray matter volume will increase. Okay, then your BDNF, brain derived neurotropic factors, will improve. There are so many inflammatory markers will come down. One more study was there, telomerase.
Okay.
Telomerase is the factor which correlates with your aging. So if you do yoga every day for 1 hour as a regular lifestyle practice, it will the telomerase length should not decrease fast. If it is decreasing fast, it means you're aging fast.
Oh, wow.
So if yoga is helping to come down the speed,
Mm.
so it is happening every day. The telomerase is shortening of telomerase is happening today also. But by practice of yoga, that speed of getting short that will reduce, and because of that, what will happen? Your aging factors will delay.
Okay.
Okay, when you have a good sleep and you are doing the yoga, the excessive not required proteins in your brain, which will cause Alzheimer, dementia, memory loss, will be excreted out from brain.
Okay.
If I'm not doing this, that will get stored in my brain, and one of the reason I might end up to Alzheimer, Parkinson, or
Okay.
dementia. So nowadays we are seeing early rise of these cases,
Yeah.
which used to be at 60 plus, we are seeing in 40 plus. Why is that happening? The detox of your brain. Detox means what? A proper sleep, food, a clean practice of yoga. And I'm saying anything. Yoga, in the sense, if you want to do exercise, also please do it. Just focus on mindfulness part with the gym. If you want to do brisk walk, please do the brisk walk again with the factor of mindfulness.
Okay.
So it is happening. So functional changes are happening, structural changes are happening, but these researches are emerging. I would not claim that everything is happening good, but my philosophy and book says, yeah, it happens.
Okay.
And research says possibly it is happening.
Okay. I mean, I've heard that too. So yes, I do agree with you.
Yeah.
And I've seen that everybody's body is different, everybody's mind is different, everybody's lifestyle is also different. So in this, I mean, this is through my experience once again. I observed that I've told few of my patients to do meditation or join my classes, yoga classes for that matter. But then the thing is that they find meditation to be very difficult, and the moment they just sit and close their eyes, they have a problem. That's the first thing. The second thing is that they have found their own form of meditation. For example, I had this one patient. She's a baker. She's a chef. So her form of meditation was chopping vegetables. So she found that the moment she chopped vegetables, or she, was in the kitchen for that matter, her mind would be completely still and relaxed. And along with that, if she was standing barefoot, her she would enhance the whole meditative experience altogether. So is
Okay.
that also important to understand or find your own form of meditation?
I would say, okay, the first day if you say, let's do meditation,
Mm.
it won't happen.
Mm.
I discussed with you DMN in the
Yeah.
starting. If you ask, there was a research where the functional connectivity was seen.
Mm.
A meditators can deactivate their DMN while doing the meditation. A
Okay.
novices like me who is beginning their career in meditation to do start the meditation are not able to deactivate DMN. My DMN is activated. It means during my closed eyes, oh, nice food. Oh, this is happening. So I'm not able to deactivate my DMN. DMN is what? The area of brain which is correlating to focus.
Mm.
Now, what you said, okay, yeah, there are few people who meditation is simple. If you can focus on one thing and on and all around, there is no other thought.
Mm.
I'm talking to you, my meditation is talking. So when I'm talking to you today, and that is very real, I do not know what is in my life, what is happening in my job, what is happening in my career, but I'm enjoying that process naturally.
Okay.
You can say that a form of a meditation. Meditation means what? When I can stop any other thought which is happening in my body.
Okay.
Still relax, and if I want to close my eyes, I can shut all my senses.
Mm. So, what would you recommend, like, for people who are very busy? Of course, you did say to just sit and, like, sit and, either you lie down or you just sit and close your eyes. That's one. And you just focus on your breathing. That's one. But how long does it take for an individual to basically reach that state altogether?
I would say abhyas, which is practice.
Okay.
Again, I would say you do not do anything. Meditation, if you want to achieve, for me, a very simple thing I would like to do is I would focus on what I like to do.
Okay.
Suppose I want to focus on my breath, I would start doing that. I will feel difficulty on that. Okay. Then what I will do is first I'll improve my lifestyle.
Mm.
That is also meditation. Na? If I'm improving my schedule from morning to evening, that is a meditation for me. First.
Mm.
So in yoga, we say yam, niyam, asana, pranayama. To go into that, I would say yam niyam is my lifestyle. For me, in this busy day, I cannot follow the what yogis can do. I can improve my lifestyle as a yam niyam. I can sit, chillax in this mode. If this is a posture, if I'm sitting for 2 hours, is my asan for me right now.
Mm, mm, mm.
And if I see my speed of my breath, it is slowing down because of all this lifestyle and my posture.
Yeah.
That is my pranayam. And if close my eyes and I'm not able to remember the lights, means my senses,
Mm.
eyes and ears are very much engaged. That is coming down. Means if something is happening around, I'm not able to focus. That is also coming down. It means my pratyahara is happening
Mm.
and I'm able to focus on my work, is chopping my vegetables, talking to you, then it is my dharana.
Okay.
So I'm not going into the specific philosophy of it, but my lifestyle or wellness, you talk about wellness. So I'm well because I'm following all these things. So first is lifestyle. If I'm in office, I'm following my lifestyle and I need a break. What I'll do, if I like enjoying talking to people, I'll go there. If I want to sit and watch a bird, I'll do that. I want to daydream.
Mm.
It's not bad, na daydream should be there.
Mm.
I'm just lying down and I'm enjoying that tomorrow I'm going for a trip and I'm enjoying. So anything is meditation for me. First, improve your first and second component is your posture and your lifestyle. What happens? I ask you today, you are not, you are, example, you are drinking alcohol, you are consuming nicotine, no proper time of food, no good sleep, and I ask you to please focus on your breath.
Yeah.
Is it a good thing to do? I would say no.
No.
So first is when a patient comes to you, ask them, no problem, sir. Till today, whatever you have done, I will accept that. From today, let's start working on your sleep and food timing. And with that, a basic in and out, like loosening practices. Loosening practices will allow you to focus on your breath, because we coordinate our breath with the hands in and out breathing, or whatever the practice you do it. After that, I would say that yes, now if I ask a patient to sit and focus and do whatever the things they want, they can do meditation. So meditation, I would draw like this from the current generation, because it is very difficult. If a person is which we say Gen Z, okay, it would be very difficult to ask them sit for 1 hour and focus on one point. I can ask them after 3 years of regular practice of whatever they are doing.
Okay. Makes so much sense. I think you really put that together very, very finely once again. All right. So let's move on to the last question. From an integrative medicine perspective, how can yoga and naturopathy complement modern neuroscience in promoting mental wellness altogether?
Yeah, again. So what we are talking about, which I love to explore in my area of interest. What do you feel when you hear integrative medicine? Many people have heard integrative medicine. In Hindi, we say Sanyojik Chikitsa. What is good for the patient? We try to find out the good ways to help a patient. Okay. We have a body in US which is called National Institute of Health, which has derived, and it's a good story that they've heard about it, that people are not taking conventional system in 1980s. They are going towards acupuncture, energy medicine, so and so, and they are private practitioners, and people like from the US population, they are spending more money than conventional medicine to these practitioners, and they are getting relief. So they said, okay, we will add with complementary medicine, alternative and complementary medicine. They have started with the conventional. After that, what happened? Okay, let's do the research now. If that is working, let's find the evidences. So then they have started working on the evidence part of it. In 2014, the very good coincidence, the IDY started in 2014,
Okay.
and the word alternative shifted to the integrative in 2014 by NIH.
Okay.
So both the things happened in the same year. So blessed to start our career also during that same phase. Okay. So that integrative means what? The evidence based approach, plus which is good for the patient, either from the conventional, either from the Ayurveda, AYUSH, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha, Tibetan, you say Ladakh medicine, or anything.
Okay.
So that is called integrative concept. Now you say why yoga, naturopathy first? All the system of medicine are there. We are the one which sits on the top of integration. Integration where the two systems are integrating. Means you are a doctor, you are giving a medicine, and now you are asking me as a yoga naturopathy physician to give a suggestion how this medicine effect can be add on by yoga naturopathy and improve 10x.
Yeah.
Why you are feeling very confident with me? Because I'm not giving medicine, so there is no drug interaction. So in the first level of integrative medicine, yoga and naturopathy stands because there is no drug level interaction.
Okay.
Any other system of medicine you are taking, there is an interaction of drugs. So for a conventional system, what they feel is if you have an interaction of drugs, then you should give the evidence that what will happen if two system of medicine is interacting in my gut. So we are working towards that, but we do not have evidences. Why we are accepted everywhere? Because we are not giving medicine. So we are giving the first line of approach in integrative medicine where there is no drug. So that is why acceptable at the first level of integration. Second, we are allowing our treatment plans, our therapies to add on an adjunct effect on the individual. You come with the diabetes, you are taking a medicine. I'm again saying on the camera, you please do not feel that okay, when I'm talking to you, you should stop medicine. No, you cannot. The role of conventional medicine is always there and it will be there. I'm saying with that, plus yoga and naturopathy. I'm saying plus.
Okay.
It means add on of yoga practice with a good lifestyle, good therapeutic intervention, good diet and nutrition. Okay. you come with the naturopathy, and that's how we complete the circle as a first level of integration. And that is practiced in India, started first center in the Nimhans, Bangalore, and then all other aims are started working on that. And we are blessed that we are there in this era where we are finding our system tuning at the first level of medicine.
Wow. I think once again you went straight to the main aspect, in structuring or answering that question altogether. And would you what would be your message to the audience who's watching? What would you want to say, or what message would you like to give them?
So if you're listening to me for the first time or the second time, it might be not new few information. If you are a doctor, you are a physician, you are a layman from any geographical region, please start work on your sleep is a root cause for any other problem. Second is the timing of your food habits. Third is cut down ultra processed packet food, or three, salt, sugar and maida from your, if it is there, a very and then micro breaks if you're using screen.
Okay.
And if you're using scrolling, then please stop scrolling before 45 minutes of your sleep, so your melatonin start increasing and you feel to sleep. And when all these factors you are doing, only this much I'm asking anyone to do it, automatically you will prevent yourself from lifestyle disorders, diabetes, hypertension, stress related disorder, addiction, stress, anxiety, depression. Okay, and then you have another kind of disorder called autoimmune diseases, which is rising and which will impact each one of us in the future if we are not working on all these parameters. So this is my message, and thanks to you that at least we are discussing these points which is required at this point of time. And I would say who is listening to Ika Health would be the getting so many informations in the future also, and we will try to connect on memory one session, attention one session. But these are very good to know and explore for the emergent side of teenagers and Gen Z in this population.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you so much, Dr. Bhavit. I think you really, once again, I'm going to say it again. You've put everything so clear for all of us to understand. And yes, we've come to the end of the Wellness Podcast. So we'll see you once again in episode number 4. Till then, take care and start your wellness journey, because wellness starts here at Ika. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.